How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Paleopod, where today our topic will be...
So we've got a few different topics. First one to start off with, we're going to call it Jurassic News out of, surf.
Oh, no.
No,
you watch your tongue.
You, oh, no.
I will not be involved with that.
Okay, well, we'll call it Park News.
There we go.
That's fair. So the first thing I want to mention, I don't know if you guys had seen it, but we got obviously the Empire magazine article on Jurassic World Rebirth, and we got a few images out of that. And the first one I want to talk about, which I really liked, is titled "Into the Wild," and that had a Quetzal on it, and it was also inside the temple scene. Except I don't know if they grey washed it or it's purposely a duller color. Meaning, are we getting male or female representation of it, or are we just getting it was kind of. Do you want me to try and get a photo up for you to freshen your? I think I do. Here we go. It's almost like I was ready. Already on my phone straight away.
Oh
into the wild.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it does seem a lot more dull than the other interpretations we've seen.
It does. That blue is not nearly as striking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's grey washed to me because obviously the branches are the same, the lighting seems the same, and the rock. So I think that may be a female, which would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, assuming
like
this
male
is
and female types.
Assuming it's her nest, that would certainly make sense. You know?
Yeah,
it's like
you see the doctor there carrying in the background. Like
I don't see him.
Now.
Oh,
in the same vein, I would. Dude, an Asdarkid has to be like the worst thing to steal an egg from. Like, especially if you're human sized. Dude, that is terrifying. Asdarkids they give me nightmares, man. These are so creepy.
I really want to see a scene a bit like in Jurassic World. You know where the pterodon smashes through the helicopter, stabbing the guy piloting. I'd love to just see an Asdarkid catch up to a human on the foot and just where it's stab it with the beak.
Yeah.
Because there's meant to be a fair few casualties in this film from what we're reading.
Okay, so then in that little case, I want to play like a little bit of a game. Quick little thing. I'm going to name the different creatures that are going to show up, and you guys are going to tell me, do you think that they're going to kill anyone? Because we had a lot of creatures in Dominion that killed nobody, right?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that. That sounds interesting.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So, Ankylosaurus.
No,
I don't think so. It'd be kind of cool to see someone get trampled or just sent into next week with its club, but I can't see it.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but I doubt it.
The dead Parasaurolophus.
Yeah, someone's going to take a bite out of that and get food poisoning.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're going to die of dysentery.
The Dilophosaurus.
I think he's going to get eaten. I think he's going to nearly get to a kill, and it's going to go sour for him like last second.
Dang.
Probably, yeah. I don't think it'll.
Okay. Suddenly I'm blanking on what all's going to show up. The Velociraptors.
I think they're going to be terrifying.
Yeah,
I reckon
I'm gonna betting 1 or 2 kills from the Raptors.
1 or 2 kills? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the Quetzalcoatlus. Do we think that they're going to kill anyone? Because the old Quetzal killed nobody.
I think so. I would love for it to be a Quetzal to kill someone.
That would be cool.
I reckon 1 death at least.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's just like thrown through the air.
Yeah.
I think 1 death.
I don't mean to metagame, but there was a guy before they were like jumping into the Quetzal's nest that you do not see in the rest of the trailer. And I'm like,
oh, he's gone.
I think he's I think that's the one.
He's a goner by that point then. The T-Rex.
I think everyone's going to get away from the T-Rex. I think the T-Rex is going to kill an animal.
That's kind of what I'm feeling, because it kind of looks like only main characters are in that boat scene, assuming that's the only scene we see the T-Rex. It's a little bit difficult.
I think the T-Rex is going to kill the D-Rex. That's my thing. I don't think it's going to kill a person. The movies have been strangely giving Tyrannosaurs the protagonist role when it comes to the animals. So
Kind of
Have you
seems
seen
like
the
they're
size
stepping
of the
away from that,
T-Rex?
though.
Yeah,
They released that size chart, didn't they? Or the leaked size
Yeah,
chart?
have you seen the size of the D-Rex compared to the T-Rex?
I don't think it was that much bigger.
I have
was
not.
It looks considerably bigger than the T-Rex. Like, this is why I keep thinking it's going to be a perfect sauropod hunter. Like, it's still the slow chase kind of thing.
Okay, so for everybody here, the D-Rex, oh yeah. D-Rex is about like, it is definitely taller than the T-Rex. It's definitely bigger than the Spinosaurus is, wow.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's like a kaiju.
It's definitely like a sauropod hunter. Assuming this is, I don't know, have we ever got confirmation that this is correct or this is true?
And send the one that you're looking at, because there is one that was made by Goji Center that was going around, but I don't know if that one's like accurate or not.
Got you.
Oh, and also, have you seen the toy for the D-Rex? That's a huge toy as well. Like, it's a lot bigger than everyone expected it to be. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe bigger than the T-Rex model.
Oh, this. I mean, if that's how big the D-Rex is, I want a scene of the Spinosaurs and the Tyrannosaur like teaming up to fight it down. That would be the ultimate like makeup for Jurassic Park 3.
You know, like it's a knuckle walker. I'd honestly love to see it just knock the T-Rex over and then push down on its throat, and you just hear the crunch. Just so you just know all the T-Rex fans are going to be annoyed at that film.
There might be some interesting things tied to the D-Rex. I mean, I was watching Evolution Square's video on this, and there's like the good chance that the D-Rex is going to be like a sympathetic creature where it's like constantly in pain because of its current state, which could also be really interesting to see.
Probably. Especially when it's surviving to adulthood.
It would be a nice subversion to like create what is essentially a movie monster, but then make it sympathetic, you know? Probably because they started to do that with the Indominus, but then they threw it out the window when they were like, now it kills everything. We have to take it down.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think I brought that up on our first episode too, and it was like one of my main gripes of Jurassic World is that they didn't lean too much to either side of that, but they started leaning towards more just the generic monster towards the end. They had this build up at the beginning of this, like it's kept in solitary confinement by itself. It killed the only sibling it had because it was likely stressed in its environment because it's nothing but, I don't know, it's the equivalent of a dog kennel.
Right.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And
still like that one detail where, you know, where Owen says, "Oh, the only thing it's got a connection to is the crane," and it didn't destroy the crane even though it knew Owen was underneath it. Yeah, the car next to it is sent absolutely flying just to get the security guy. So yeah, it's like they had some nice character build up, really, like little touches that you didn't notice unless you were paying attention, kind of thing.
Yeah, I always thought that the Jurassic franchise did a good job at portraying these creatures as animals over monsters, and the Indominus really kind of went against that a little bit. It would be nice if the Indominus kind of like corrected that, or sorry, the D-Rex corrected that. That's right. That's part of this whole Jurassic News thing. The Distortus Rex. We have a name for it. Distortus Rex.
The Distorted King.
Distorted King.
Do you guys like the name?
I don't mind it.
It's fine. It fits what kind of creature it is. Maybe it's time to move away from species name of Rex because it's like, okay, we get it. You guys like Tyrannosaurus. We can think of something else by this point.
I mean, the name's kind of cool, but I feel like it was like a wet salad flop kind of thing. Like, oh, the Distortus Rex. Like, yeah, it's cool. Well, like, it didn't have like an impact, if you know what I mean. I don't think it had like. I think it'd be.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the only other name I had heard that they could fit for like D-Rex was Doomsday Rex. And I always thought that was like, okay, maybe this is like a bit overkill unless this thing is about to be like really like Muto level bad.
Oh yeah.
It kind of was like the Doomsday look from Batman versus Superman.
Oh.
It kind of has like very like ugly kind of look to it, doesn't it?
Terrible Doomsday design.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I would be kind of cool if it had like just a category number. You know, like the Spinosaurus is known as asset
87.
No, 87. If it had like that kind of vibe to it rather than just like giving this cool name. Or just like even if it was like if someone knew actually we don't know if anyone knows the animal as such, because obviously it's kind of like whatever this story is going to be like. I feel like it was made later than what was said by this company and the other people being led onto the island off a lie. But if someone had a pet name for it, like what would you give the pet name to this creature? I would have a pet name for it. It's Squishy.
I knew you were going to say yeah. I was going to say that because that's literally all I've been calling it because that's all you've been calling it. So that's literally my nickname for it too.
I see that beluga-like head with like, oh, Squishy.
Yeah, for context for all of our listeners, biology calls it squishy because beluga heads are very squishy and it looks like it has a beluga head.
Yeah, I love it. Like, I really want them to make a plush of it.
Yeah, they probably will. And you'd have to have that in the back of your videos. Otherwise, what's all this for?
I know, right? I'm waiting for it to come out in Smith's, like the actual figure. I'm gonna get the figure straight away.
Man,
like, I know there's two abelid swords in the shop right now. I need to go and get, but Squishy.
That figure looks pretty cool,
Actually,
though. I'm not gonna lie.
It does.
Like, I kind of like it.
What's the code looking for?
I don't know.
I had a. Oh man, I can't find it now. I had a stuffed animal that I had right up here, ready to show you guys, and it was the level 40 Indominus Rex from Jurassic World the game.
Oh, that's cool. Where did you get that from?
My brother and his friends were like cleaning out like somebody's bedroom, and they found it, and they were like, "Oh, it's a dinosaur. Give it to Lakota."
Yeah, that works. That works.
So, next bit of Jurassic news. If we're ready to move on.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Do you think Spinosaurus?
Go.
Do you think the Spinosaurus will kill someone? I forgot what we were doing.
I think Spinosaurus. Oh yeah, we're doing that. I think Spinosaurus. Well, you see a lot of blood in the water, so I wonder if the Mosasaurus got sick of attacking the ship and took out his Spinosaurus.
Maybe.
Because there was a lot of blood for just human. And then I think the other two remaining Spinosauruses might chase on land and get one person. Oh, imagine if they do an Eddie scene with the Spinosauruses. They just grab one of the people on the beach and...
That'd be sick.
That's really cool, but man, that scene messed me up as a kid.
Yeah.
Because like right before he break, you can hear the vertebrae snap. And it was like, oh, I did not like that sound.
I had a complete opposite vibe to that. I was like thinking in my head, I was like, apart from the ripping part, I bet that feels so good on the spine. Like,
maybe for a second.
A chiropractor.
It's like the Mr. Incredibles thing where it's like it feels good. It's like, oh, this feels great.
My back. I think. I don't know about the Spinosaurs, but I definitely think that hunting party of the Spinosaurs plus the Mosasaur is definitely going to get someone. Yeah. I definitely think that party is going to get someone.
It looks like there's enough people in this movie that we can have a decent amount of casualties. Kind of like Lost World, where Lost World, they're like, you know what? Throw a lot of people there so that we can have a lot of casualties, you know? I hope that's what we're getting. Like, D-Rex is probably going to kill someone. Or a few people. Mutadon probably is going to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's everything.
Have you ever watched Deadpool 2?
Yes.
You know, like X-Force, you're like introduced to X-Force, and then they all die.
Yeah.
I feel like that boat scene's going to be like that. They're getting there, they rescued his family, they're learning about all these different mercenaries that have come with them, and they're all just not going to, like, the majority of them ain't making it off that boat. It's got that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
You got any more dinosaurs for us?
I think that's about it. That's all I can remember.
The Aquilops.
Yeah, that's gonna get absolutely.
Highest body count.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I reckon that Aquilops will get. I think that'll get one kill.
Really?
In the sense of someone's going to try and save it, and they're going to get killed saving it.
Oh no.
Because I think it's a pet. Like, I think a lot of other people think that this is a pet that's been brought onto the journey. And that rich family that are having a little boat party, I reckon it's a young girl's pet. Because there is a toy set where it comes with
Yeah.
the Aquilops. So that's the sense I got feeling. I think someone's going to try and save the Aquilops from one of the raptors. That's what I'm going to put down on my bingo card. And that person is going to get killed. And then Aquilops is going to get nice and safely back to the daughter.
I'm going to be looking for that now.
That's going to be on my bingo card.
I should make a bingo card. We should make a pink bingo card.
I
was thinking we need to do like extra activities on this that we could just upload as like regular videos. You know?
Oh yeah. So the next thing is we've got a better shot of the Mosasaurus. Have you guys seen that one?
I have.
Yes, it looks like a humpback whale.
Yeah, that's so the pleated throat.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the pleated throat, which is kind of interesting because is this going to be a case of like it was either made by that secret lab and dumped there, or if it was originally made and sort of like no one else got told about it and it was used like mixing whale DNA? Does that mean it's got some like freaky mouth thing where you can gulp in a load of water? Because obviously the pleated throat is designed for allowing the whales to bring in tons of water and food at once, and then obviously push it back through the baleen.
You know that that toy that you sent to us, it like advertised itself as like being able to have a Dilophosaurus go into it and then it spits it out.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it related to that. Maybe it's not just teamed up with the Spinosaurus. It just has a whole fleet of Dilophosaurs too.
It's projectile dilos, like its prey's going onto land.
Yeah, so you just see its throat, you see its throat expand, and they're like, "What's it doing?" And all of a sudden, just Dilophosaurs go flying.
They can use like 2 sound effects to it, like like the Godzilla when he's energizing up. And then if you ever watch battleships when they fire the aliens fire off those pods, it's just that noise when all the Dilophosauruses are coming out.
Task Force Dilo. Deploy the Dilos.
It's gonna. I'm intrigued to what this. It's probably just there for the looks. Thinking about it,
probably
they're probably going like, it's like a whale. We're gonna stick that on because it looks cool. But if it has a practical effect to it in that kind of regards, like, can you imagine? Oh, could you imagine like the people getting knocked into the water trying to swim away, and then they realize they stop moving and then start going backwards because the Mosasaurus is dragging in water to its mouth? That'd be
kind of sick, honestly.
It'd be terrifying for those people because we're meant to be getting a lot of water scenes in Rebirth. So it was what they kept saying. Water finds a way throughout a lot of like the press meetings and stuff.
I have not heard that before in my life.
Have you not heard it? Oh
no.
Man, I remember it's Jurassic Outpost which keeps mentioning it. That keeps reminding me that was a thing that was said by. I think it was Scarlett Johansson that said it. Water finds a way.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of it, I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, nice.
So I got a feeling that'd be kind of cool scene, that wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it.
You got any more thoughts on the Mosasaurus?
Glad it has better skin texture at least.
It
looks
more
also
realistic.
really nice. Yeah, still like insanely oversized, but
yeah, I was looking at the little size chart they have down here. We got 30.5 meters.
The BBC gave them that little script.
Yeah.
30.5. So we have the Mosasaur Dr. Pepper cans.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, by the way.
We're not. I wish. I already drink this stuff all the time.
I wish the UK had Jurassic World cans. We just have the normal Dr. Pepper cans.
So hold on, I need to do some.
So what, like 30.5 meters? Isn't that like close to like what, 100 feet?
Hold on, we're about to see. Hold on. Meters to feet. So 30.5 meters is Yeah, that is nearly 100 feet even.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I got that, but jeez, that is a huge mosasaur.
Yeah. That is insane.
Man.
So in life, they were barely hitting like
40 to
the
45.
mid-40s. Yeah.
That's the largest species, Hoffmanni, which means that this guy is over double the length of the largest species of mosasaur. Which, I mean, we can guess that. It was huge in the trailer, but still.
Yeah.
I wonder how big the one from Jurassic World is now.
It's probably closer to like... Oh, yeah, I just realized it was like 200 feet, wasn't it, in Dominion? So that one is still bigger than the Rebirth Mosasaurus. That's crazy.
This is where it's now 400 feet. It can't go. It's like low depths of water. It now has an island forming on its back.
I was about to say that.
Sailing around with a full ecosystem growing on its back.
It's just stuck there now. It's like we've solved the mosasaur problem, as in nature did.
Yeah.
Life finds
I mean,
a way.
even by the time of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the mosasaur is estimated at over double what the new Mosa is. It's sitting at a solid 65 to 75 meters long.
What the hell?
That's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That's not even Dominion.
Oh,
Damn. What, you said 65 to 70 or what?
65 to 75 meters long.
Oh my gosh. So what that means at most, I'm going to do the math real quick. I can't. 246 feet.
Yeah.
246 feet.
Imagine the family ship is capsized by that Mosa, and it can't chase them into the shallow waters, and that's when they start to think they're safe. And then this other Mosasaurus comes out of the blue like, hey, snacks!
It'd be interesting.
Well, yeah, by this point, the Mosasaur is just going to be able to just swallow this other Mosasaur whole.
There's always a bigger fish or marine reptile.
Oh, man. Did the normal Jurassic World Mosa have a name? Or did everyone just call it Mosa?
We just called it the Mosa, I think.
Yeah, I don't think this got a name. Not that I know of. That's I kind of want to know. Did the Mosasaurus and Jurassic World have a name? But you would find it.
I'm gonna find out.
I'm intrigued. Because honestly, I love the Mosasaurus. Even how ridiculous it is, it's still probably one of my favorite things. Like in Camp Cretaceous, it was so good as well. Like this menacing threat that you just sort of trying to get away from.
I'm just glad that it looks like a Mosasaurus. Like, despite the fact that it has osteoderms, it still has the Mosasaurus shape, you know? Which I've always appreciated that.
So it has two names. Neither one of them is official. Some people call her Shy Gal because she is described as shy by the announcer in the first movie. Others have just relegated her name to Mosey.
Mosey. I like that.
That's a cute name, isn't it? I like that.
Huh. Interesting.
Right. So last thing you slightly mentioned about before is the Mutodons.
Yeah.
The pterodon / raptor mutated hybrid thingies that we're not too sure on yet, because obviously there's nothing really out there other than slight talks in magazines. One of the interesting things, they got the idea for this has come from, they were sorting out a part of their house and a bat slowly climbed up and revealed itself, which kind of scared the person cleaning. I've forgotten his name already, but he got the inspiration for a bat slowly climbing up. So it kind of makes me think, I wonder if these are going to be like, we don't see them, but they're there for a while just stalking and climbing. I wonder if they're going to be like, rather than like powered flight kind of creatures, more like gliders. So we see a lot of forest shots. So I wonder if they'll be treated like what we thought Microraptor was like, where they climb up the trees and glide down on top of their prey.
That could be.
Yeah. And it's meant to be a terrifying scene for them talking about.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to have a high casualty cause.
They could. They could. Like, I just don't know how I feel about this. Because it's
you
like
the idea of it.
Look, like they were talking about this movie, and they were like, "We're going back to our roots. This is more so Jurassic Park than anything." That is full on Jurassic World stuff right there.
Yeah.
That's a hybrid, basically. Even if it's not officially a hybrid, Velociraptor mixed with Pteranodon, you know, and Mutodon is not the most creative name either.
I am okay with just about anything as long as it's implemented well. If it's implemented well, I think it could work.
Yeah.
Just keep the vibes. Like, for example, what biology was saying, with like the whole thing of like you see it in like the background at first. I was thinking of that. Like, imagine if they're like walking through the forest for bits, and then you get like a few close-up shots of like trees, and you just see something crawling up. Maybe they're camouflaged or something, like their backs look like tree bark or something.
Yeah.
And you just see like a figure move.
It could be
also
cool.
Something I just found out because I googled Mutodon to see if we had any images of it. The 6th image that comes up is Dino Guy's profile picture. It is a link straight to your YouTube channel.
Well, so my kind of thought when I was thinking about it, like maybe they might not be raptor size in the sense of like the Jurassic Park raptors. Maybe they are actually raptor size, and maybe they were going for like a I'm going to pronounce this horrifically, but you probably know what I'm trying to say. The Cynotheriums? Cynosaurus? No. The thing that lived with Microraptors, which was venomous. That was also tree glider.
Cynornithosaurus.
There we go.
It was not venomous. Okay, we now know.
Was it not venomous?
No, there was a certain point in time where they thought it was, and that's what Planet Dinosaur showcased. But later analysis revealed it wasn't.
You should have
seen was someone watching it last week.
Oh.
While you were saying that, I just had a thought though. Imagine if they're like advertising this as like a mixture between a pterosaur and a raptor, and it's like a flock of yeezhis.
Just the bat bird.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, hey, membrane wings. That works.
To the members of our audience that don't know what Yeechi is, I recommend you look it up. It is spelled Y-I space Q-I. It is a bird-like dinosaur that instead of having feathered wings had winged membranes, like a bat or a pterosaur.
It's
really closest we ever got to wyverns. That's all I'm going to say.
Are we getting those in Prehistoric Kingdom?
Yes.
Yes.
In
the terrariums.
Yep. And I'm very excited for it.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, maybe it's like that. Maybe
that'd be
slightly
funny.
Oversized.
I would be.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
so funny because
like
just
it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool. But I mean, someone said about like a T-Rex fire breathing because they probably got a flare shot in the mouth. So saying a raptor pteranodon crossbreeds, like it's probably the best way to put it to someone who doesn't know much about dinosaurs, I guess.
Yeah. It'd just be weird if they called it Mutodon. Like,
maybe just a stretch
like
for now.
Or it's that could, maybe they're like trying to keep a secret. It's like a big subversion. We're all here in the theaters, and all of a sudden, just a bunch of yeezhis just come flocking out. It's like, and it's just swarm them like the compies did.
Give them venomous bites just for the sake of it.
I'd honestly be so happy with that because not enough people know about Yeechi. I think that more people need to know about that little dinosaur because it's so cool.
No. Such a weird little dude.
Yeah.
I wish his lineage had been more successful. I would love to see bats with winged membranes.
Yeah, it's interesting because it shows that there's a few times where dinosaurs dinosaurs evolved flight in various different ways. Even like, convergently with bats or with pterosaurs. It's fascinating.
I'd love to see like a Quetzal size Yeechi. I just imagine that flying above like
that's a dragon biology.
Yeah. I mean, did you see Ark's interpretation of it with the aberration map that came out?
No.
The Yi Ling?
Oh, the Yi Ling.
I think I have. It's not ringing a bell. Because there's all sorts of weird stuff in Arboration. Like there was a weird. What are those dogs called? I'm trying to think of the name. They reminded me of aliens.
Here, I'm sending the thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's Ace.
Yeah, they're really big. Like you can ride them.
Yeah, people who are listening definitely go and Google that. That's pretty cool.
It's like
it's basically like a beaked dodo dragon bat thing.
Yeah,
that's the way you put it together. But the head's very dodo-like, I think, like cross with Argentarius. The big old beak. Could some tame one of those and call it buckbeak.
I hear they're a pain to tame, so be prepared for the long haul.
Oh man. So, do you have anything else that you'd like to add to our delightful Mutterdons that we'll be seeing?
I'm not going to have a full opinion until we see the movie. Really. Right now, I could be a little bit shaky about things, but I'm not going to, because who knows? I might love it. So I'm going to have my full opinion when we see that movie in July.
Yep. It's coming out 6 days before my birthday.
Hey,
so,
perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. I'll be 21 in July.
Hey, we should all meet up in Europe and then celebrate.
I don't got the money for that, dog.
Hey, I don't either.
just go on a crater ship, side in one of the crates. It'd be perfectly safe 4-week journey. And then Homeland Security will give you a free ride back to the States after probably about 8 weeks in the little penthouses. Got these aliens coming over here.
Unless there was one other thing biology you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I do. Depending if you've got the time. I was going to talk about issues with black market and private sales in the fossil paleontology scene.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel that's kind of an interesting topic.
There's been that whole thing recently where it's like a lot of wealthy people are buying T-Rex fossils, which is, of course, removing it from the eyes of science.
Now, that was in my recent news thing. Like I was looking at the news and that cropped up, and I was like, oh, like it's actually becoming an issue that is becoming on mainstream media news. That the main thing was T-Rex fossils, but then when you look more into it, there's also loads of other issues. Rich people buying fossils either privately or buying them through the black market. Like we got two famous ones. The one that ended up in a good situation, Apex, the Stegosaurus, who was bought up by Ken Griffin for $44.6 million.
Yeah, it was hefty.
Yeah, and it was just nice enough that he decided it wasn't going to be staying in a private collection for no one else to see. It was nice that he let that out into the scientific community for everyone to enjoy. It's just that he has his name to it because he owns it, which is, I feel like that should be the more done thing of day and age. I find it pointless buying something and then just keeping your living room for only you and your guests to see.
Especially something like that.
Yeah, like that is a scientific breakthrough, kind of like paleontology breakthrough.
Apex found I've kind of said this, and this almost became like the Nanotyrannus thing with me. But like when I first started doing like the Dino class streams and stuff like that, I was very adamant because like that was around the same time that this whole Apex stuff was happening, just like a few months ago. But I was like, the guy who found it is a commercial paleontologist, and I don't rock with that. Commercial paleontology is it can be beneficial because there's more money in it for the paleontologist, and I get why people want to do it because there's not a lot of money in paleontology, but it feels very disingenuous and scummy. Because
I mean, there's definitely a lot of gray to it. I mean, there's so many different aspects of paleontology. You have those who, they're official paleontologists. They've gone to school and everything. There are those who are like amateur paleontologists, which that's probably what I consider myself. And there's different people who react to that. Some amateur paleontologists, they might keep what they find. I've never kept anything that I found, unless it's something like really tiny. And then, of course, you have the commercial paleontologists who they're mostly doing it on their own property. And, of course, they're going to want to sell what they find. because that's how they get a huge portion of their money. So it gets a little bit tricky to like pinpoint all of that and navigate all of that.
This was the only piece of a fossil, or actually, well, there's another half to this that I got to keep when I went out to Hell Creek. This is a piece of a Triceratops frill.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like fully. Oh, it's so cool.
I have never found anything substantial like that. The area in which I live was underwater, so there's a lot of shells mostly.
I think I feel, man.
I found animates.
Ammonites, yeah.
Animates, yeah, I always say it wrong. I got a few of those knocking about the house.
Okay.
What else have I got? I've got a fair few different sea creature stuff knocking about in little boxes here and there. Well, not little boxes, but like display things.
You poor little UK soul.
I know. Life. But actually, the closest things to me are just paleobotany sites. There's no animals ever found. Just plant matter, which is still really interesting because it's just like oh, this is a plant that it's cool.
Absolutely,
it's cool.
On that topic, and I don't mean to get us away from the black market stuff because I do want to share a really funny story about Nicolas Cage and Tarbosaurus, because that's like my favorite story ever. But I think there was a discovery that shows that the lineage that gives us grass actually showed up a lot earlier than we thought it did. A recent discovery shows that it could have been around somewhere around in the mid to late Jurassic.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, that was a more recent thing. Which, hey, if that's the case, oh my God, Allosaurus did touch grass. Oh my God,
it's like touched the grass.
I mean, like, even equally like interesting. It's like that Titanosaur coprolite that was found with grass in it. It's like Titanosaur.
Ooh,
really? Like the big leaf eaters. You're over here eating grass too. That's cool.
Just giant prehistoric lawnmowers.
Yeah.
But there are a fair few stories about fossils being sold on the black market. And getting smuggled. Fossil smuggling has been like a pretty big issue, and like them being sold off as well. The most common and like well-known story about that issue is probably Irritator.
Yeah.
Irritator was smuggled out of Brazil into the United States. The people who were trying to sell it glued a lot of like rocks onto it, which is why it got the name Irritator, because it was such a pain to reconstruct.
Yep.
It was switching between several different types of dinosaurs during like its analysis. I think for a while it was like a Carcharodontosaurid, and they were like, well, maybe, and then like a Megaraptor looking thing for a while. But there are a few funny stories, like the time a Tarbosaurus skull bankrupted Nicolas Cage.
Well, not what he expected, is it? He had to return it over, didn't he?
He did. The story goes that he bought it at an auction, and I think it was the Mongolian government reached out to him and was like, hey, so that was stolen and we need it back. And Nicolas Cage was like, okay. And he handed it back over. I don't think he ever got compensation for handing it back over. But that's what I appreciate about some countries. Some countries have very strict rules about fossils, and they make sure that they can't go to private collectors like they can here in the States. I think China and Mongolia are very strict about that.
But
even right now, we're
one of those as well. We're not allowed to take fossils out of the country.
Yeah, I was still going to mention that Irritator has not been returned to Brazil quite yet, which is of course a huge problem.
Still want it back
now. Uberujara, or however it's pronounced, a little strange little dinosaur, it was eventually returned back to Brazil, but they're still needing Irritator, which, Irritator needs to go back to Brazil. That is their fossil. It was.
I always love the name that are given to fossils. That in the individual fossil, like Irritators SMNS S8022.
Yeah.
I remember someone I used to talk to. and they only ever refer to fossils via their tag names.
Really?
Never the species. He'll say a random code. I'll be sat there for a bit, like, and the more he described it, I was like, "All right, no, he's on about that."
See, there's some people who can remember that way better. For me, it's like if there's too many numbers or weird sequence, I'm gonna forget. I need to go off of the generic
barcode name.
Yeah. The only one I can memorize with full confidence is AMNH5027, which is the T-Rex skeleton in the New York or the American Natural History Museum that was used to make Rexy in Jurassic Park. And
Rexy isn't it Rexy from Night at the Museum?
National. Oh no, I don't want to talk about Natural History Museum.
They also have a 3D cast of its skull. So this is 5027.
I can't believe how small that T-Rex was.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's such a tiny Rex. I can't believe we don't consider that a juvenile.
I know, right?
Looks like not a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
I will throw this at you.
Please do.
He will defy space and time, and he will
straight for the screen.
It's looking at you.
What I love about like fossils like that is how deformed they are when you look at it head on, because you could tell they were just crushed underneath a ton of rock over the millions of years that they were preserved.
What's the headache one?
Yeah.
What's the headache T-Rex called?
The what now?
The T-Rex skull is like basically like bent in half nearly.
Oh, I have a small replica of that came with the Peniso T-Rex. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what its designation is.
We always nicknamed it the headache T-Rex because it looked like it got a bowling ball dropped on its head. And then one of my mates ages ago sent me a picture of that T-Rex skull with the soundbite of in Ted when he gets the stuffing put back in him. It's like, and maybe a bit messed up, but you still love me. Like, that got to me.
You said a headache one, and I thought you meant like the Gorgosaurus that had like the marks for brain cancer.
Oh no! Like the skull is like really disformed, obviously because like from the movement. But then you get sometimes articles where it's like dinosaur was hit by massive boulder and rock slide, even though that's not the case.
Yeah, I don't know. Because you can look at it and go like, ooh, he got his like head caved in by like an ankylosaur. And we're like, no, that's just erosion. He was just sitting on like the bad side of a cliff. And, he probably just died of old age or something. We don't know.
But going back to like when Dino Guy was saying about paleontologists, which aren't paleontologists, they just own a bit of land and go collecting fossils. Quite recently, me and my son watching quite an old documentary. I think it's like Bone Collectors or something like that it's called. And it follows two ranch owners that literally go on their ranch digging up fossils to sell.
Yeah, my parents would watch that all the time.
I absolutely. I mean, I've been enjoying that show as much. My son's like glued to it. It's like because it's very the recording of it's been made very dramatic. I don't know if those people are actually like that in real life, but they seem like get over here! I found a whole triceratops. Like really dramatically, I found a whole triceratops.
Dude, if I found a whole triceratops, I'm acting the same way.
Yeah, I would just be like, hey. It's a nice bit of rock and minerals.
There are some cases where sometimes, like, with how common Triceratops is, there are some people who are just like, we'll come back to it someday. I don't know. Because we have so many fossils of Triceratops.
Yeah, I was listening to Skeleton Crew talk about it. One of them had gone to the Hell Creek Formation. It's like when they first got there, they were like, oh, and then we found a Triceratops. This is like one of the most iconic dinosaurs ever. This is absolutely amazing. And then after like the third day, they're like, oh, another Triceratops. Yep, Triceratops. Oh, I just stepped over a Triceratops. Okay, great.
yeah. No, they're everywhere up there.
Yes.
I remember I went prospecting with a team in Hell Creek way back when. And you just walk around to be like, okay, so like that's probably like a rib right there. We'd only really stop if we had found something that was obviously from a theropod or an edmontosaur, because that was the only other stuff you'd find very commonly. We found a few fossils that seemed to be like skinny theropods, probably like troodontids and stuff like that, but they were like just bits and pieces. There was nothing else.
Right.
Doesn't the wind destroy a lot of it as well when they get exposed?
Yeah. The earth is earthen once they're exposed. That's one of the biggest problems.
I remember someone I was watching on YouTube was going to supply a scene dig site, and like they're like, "Oh, this is a turtle. If we don't dig this up now, it'll be gone by next week." And like literally, like they'd come like across like other turtles they found, where it's like it's so fragmented and have been swept across the place. You could like literally for like nearly about 10 meters or something like that. Like bits of this.
I was just reading a book by Armin Schmidt where he was talking about excavating an ichthyosaur, and they couldn't get it out in time in summer, so they had to bury it again so that they can, return to it afterwards. Otherwise, the elements will just destroy it.
Yeah.
Oh, over COVID, there was a really brilliant timing. So there was like a massive heat wave, and a lot of the what do you call them now? In my head, I keep saying aqueducts, and not aqueducts. Where you store water, essentially.
Water tower.
The name will come. No, not water tower. So in the UK, we have these massive, essentially ponds. Reservoir. There we go. Reservoirs.
A pond.
This drought. A pond. Yeah. This reservoir completely dried out. Yeah, lake. Essentially, they are like lakes, really.
A river.
But he completely dried out.
Okay, I'm done.
It dried out, and Dr. Lomax, I think he's called. You have one of his books.
Dean Lomax.
Yeah, Dean Lomax. They found like this beautifully preserved plesiosaur just there, and they only covered it because of it droughted, and it was such a good find. Like, yeah, really lucky in that sense, because if it was led there for ages and no one knew about it because it's always underwater, and the drought came with the perfect timing to dig up, and luckily it didn't rain for a while. And it's I can't remember what it's called, because then you've probably seen it. I honestly just think in my head of the when I hear plesiosaur.
Well, he's looking for that. I love that Grievous is still in your background.
Heck
he's
yeah!
Just chilling.
It's there to stay now.
Yeah. I was talking with Biology the other day, or actually just last night, it would have been this morning for him, about the Destiny 2 crossover with Star Wars. The Hunters are General Grievous.
Yeah.
The Titans are Darth Vader, and Kylo Ren is the Warlocks.
Which is, like I said, if there's any reason I'd play Destiny, it'd be for that Grievous.
I think all of us would be hunters then.
Yeah.
So I'm already a hunter because of the dinosaur armor. Have y'all seen the dinosaur armor in Destiny?
No, I haven't. I want to see it. It wasn't a pleasure. It was an ichthyosaur.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
But it's still like, look how beautiful that is.
I saw that photo. Look how huge. It's so cool.
I know.
Wow. Right? Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait. There's a few paleontologists I've seen actually go this is on display somewhere, isn't it? I forget where.
I think it is, because at the same time there was a place. I think at the same time, shortly after, there was another like really well discovered plesiosaur just coming out of the rock cliff face, and they had to like climb up on it and dig it bit by bit off the cliff face. So we're basically abseiling to get this thing out. Oh, that's cool.
That's the Destiny dinosaur.
I can tell what Lakota's looking at through the reflection in his thing.
Oh, I just sent it. So.
Yeah. That is cool, though. That's cool. At least I know you're not faking it. I know that you're actually looking.
I mean, can you tell what my wallpaper is?
Oh my gosh, it's the Tyrannosaurs from from
It's
Prehistoric Planet.
It's the nuzzling T-Rexes.
Yeah.
This basically tells me that I'm not allowed to have my wallpaper engine on while we're doing this. My wallpaper engine's very different.
Oh man.
But
no, do we have any more interesting stories about black market or private sales that you want to go on about?
Just that I don't like them. I know that there's supposedly a juvenile T-Rex that is in a private collection, and that just kind of like highlights the problem, because it's like, how can we can't confirm if it's a juvenile T-Rex because nobody is allowed to officially describe it. That just shows how much of a problem those private collections truly are for something like this.
It's like the juvenile T-Rex that one person got to see and definitely said it was a Nanotyrannus and not a juvenile T-Rex.
Well, someone saw it and said that it was distinct from Nanotyrannus. I'm not going to name any names right here. I don't really want to call anyone out, but someone apparently saw it and they said that it was distinct, which we can't really go off of that because that's like,
it's word of mouth.
That's word of mouth.
It's not something that we can prove.
That's not how it works. That's just.
Yeah, it's
I think the same thing happened with Pachycephalosaurus too, where somebody apparently has a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus in their collection that is distinct from Dracorex, which again, we can't confirm it because we don't have access to it. So that just causes problems.
Yeah, all of it amounts to the Dracorex being a juvenile.
Yeah, because if you think about it, birds are closely related, and you look at like a hornbill, for example. A baby hornbill looks nothing like an adult hornbill.
Well, yeah,
and it grows that structure. So it's kind of a cool idea of where it grows the structures as it gets older and older.
Like,
really cool theory.
Dinosaur ontogeny is unfortunately not too fleshed out because we don't have enough skeletal material for most animals. We're lucky with some dinosaurs like Triceratops where you can see the very consistent growth curve with all of the different specimens we have. But other ones, it gets a little bit tricky because it's like, well, Dracorex does look a lot like Pachycephalosaurus. The growth curve does make sense, but it's kind of difficult because it looks very different from Pachycephalosaurus at the same time, so it is hard to confirm. Most are in agreement with it, but there are those who still disagree. And of course, those who apparently saw a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus in a private collection. And so of course they disagree because they saw it with their own eyes. But that's just, we can't go off of that. That's just, but that is in essence, that is the problem with private collections, and that is the problem with taking these fossils for your own and just starting your own little museum that nobody else is allowed to see or study or anything like that. Because maybe they do have a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. Maybe they do have a juvenile T-Rex that's distinct. We just can't confirm it.
I feel like they should put a law in where private collections are a bit like zoos. So the law to own a zoo in the UK or to own exotic animals, you need I can't remember the exact law it is, but it's like you basically have to be a zoo to have certain creatures like tigers and lions. And what that states is 2 days a year you have to be open to the public to, allow people to see these animals. So that's how you get your zoo's license, is it? Am I right? I'm going back to like when I was in college and learned about animal law. I'm trying to remember the thought about then, but yeah, 2 days a year they had to be open to have this license to have these animals. And I feel like they should do the same with private collections of like anything, maybe taxidermies and fossils, in a sense of, I won't say it wouldn't have to be 2 days a year to the public, but 2 years to academic folks, people that actually have a reason to be looking at these creatures. And I feel like that's something that should be implemented in a sense. And like I said, we're just looking at that. Someone like Ken Griffin just gave Apex, they're allowing Apex to be shown to the public and people get to study it and look at it. So we're kind of looking that sense. And I feel like more people should be like that in a sense, where they could even just loan out the animal. Because in a sense, there's more money in loaning something than selling something, if you think about it, if they want to go down that route. Like, you can have this T-Rex for 3 months for a certain price, almost like you're renting it out in a sense.
Right.
I mean, that's probably the improvise? No. Compromise.
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
I think, honestly, if I ever found like a really big fossil specimen and I wanted to like hand it over to a museum, I wouldn't even want money per se. I'd just say, I'll give it to you if you give me a full-scale replica of the thing. Give me like a full-scale replica of this specimen, and I'll just give it to you.
I'd honestly be happy. Like, I'd also just be happy with a mention in the articles and everything. Like, fossil was discovered by Dino Guy. It would say my actual name, but you know.
Yeah. That's your name reveal. Yeah. Like, guys, I found something. It's like, well, here's my name.
I almost said my actual name there, and I was like, I'll keep it under the like. Of course, you guys know my name, but you know.
If I ever find that second Carnotaurus, I'm smuggling it out. It's just been there. It's been on my living room wall.
Everybody's just like looking for it, and then we just like he starts a video, and it's just crammed in the background right behind him, and he's like, I don't know where it is.
There's a suspiciously Carnotaurus shaped box in the back.
It's like, hey guys, I found the legs for Carnotaurus. We know what they look like. They're as short as the arms. They don't have knees.
Oh my no!
There's a Carnotaurus like munchkin catch, just like
they walk around like South Park characters. Just
we've seen some run on stilts. That's what
Man,
oh my gosh, bro.
If you went to South America before coming to North America to see us, I feel like I'd be a little offended.
I'd be very betrayed.
It would make sense. Yeah,
but if it was for Carnotaurus, I'd understand. But
I booked my tickets to America, and then right here, which America? Oh, South America. That's where you guys are at, right?
It's like, oh, y'all live in the United States of America. I thought you lived in Argentina. Sorry, I'm just gonna go dig then.
just anything to declare. Just these like giant like theropod legs are sticking out of a suitcase. And it's now a few tons heavier than it was before it went on the flight. No, just bits and bobs from the tourist shop.
Reminds me of you remember when Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was coming out, and there was that one college humor video of Claire and Owen trying to smuggle a raptor onto a plane.
Oh yeah.
It was in blue.
Yeah.
God, yeah, that was good.
Ma'am, it is hissing at me.
So yeah, it's
boxes don't hiss?
Like, really?
Yeah,
I thought they did. That's like a normal thing for me.
Could have fooled me. Huh?
Yeah, weird.
Talking about it, where's the second Jurassic World Rebirth advert?
I agree. I still want to talk about Rebirth, but I ran out of things to say about the first trailer. So I want stuff.
Yeah.
I want stuff.
I like Chunky T-Rex.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Chunky T-Rex is so cool.
Have you seen the figure? Like
I did.
It looks better than the Hammond collection Rexy. It like
loads of people saying that. Like,
yeah.
when you type in like Mattel toys, like literally like, why is this better than Hammond collection?
Yeah, it is. I love it. It looks fantastic. You know, I'm gonna love to have it in the background.
Have you guys seen the EO Triceratops?
Right there.
Yeah, there you go.
The EO Triceratops.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Or the Inostransavia.
Yeah. No, my favorite one was I was in the shop, and they've got them out. A lot of the new figures, and there it was, Nano Tyrannus. I was like,
yeah.
Do I buy this and post it off to Lakota?
I was just looking for figures today, but they're not in stock yet.
Oh man, yeah, no, we got a load in my local. I'm
gonna have to buy the Nano Tyrannus figure.
You're gonna have to.
I feel like I'm obligated to.
Yep.
I'm still waiting for that paper. Natural History Museum on TikTok swears that a paper's coming out on Nano Tyrannus sometime in the future. They've been saying it for months, all right? And I'm patiently awaiting it, and I'm pretty sure I made a promise on stream that if it came out and it proved to me without a doubt that Nano Tyrannus was valid, I would deep fry and eat my own left boot. That is how confident I am I will be unconvinced.
Do you have one of those giant frying pans that you put like a load of crayfish in?
Yep.
I want to see you do that with a boot.
Yeah, we'll do an IRL stream. If I'm convinced, we'll do an IRL stream and do it. But yeah, I want the new T-Rex to go up here. I don't know how big it is. I might have to take some of these guys off.
So it's bigger than. I saw someone doing a comparison with this T-Rex. It's bigger than this T-Rex. So there's your frame of reference.
I might have to reorganize.
Yeah. And it looks so much better than this T-Rex too.
Yeah, because that's like really skinny.
Yeah. And the new one, its arms face the correct way too. And yeah, the new one's just so much better. That's just.
I bet those people are feeling robbed.
Dude, it looks so cool.
It does. I also love the posture of the head as well. It's just, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
You know, I was actually going to see if Mattel had done a Nanook. But
No,
they did Nano Tyrannus before.
That is crazy.
Well,
I don't want to talk about it.
On the search of it, I did find this cool, dude. Not a Mattel one, but
oh yeah, I've seen this.
That looks sick.
I think we can go ahead
and
end the episode right here too.
Yeah,
we go ahead. Yeah.
So now we're going down to like photos being shared. So
yeah.
Okay, so
good episode.
Thank you everybody for watching and or listening. Of course, we will be live again next week, or not live, but you get my drift. Be sure to check out all of our social media, our YouTube channels. Be sure to check out Lakota on the bottom. Be sure to check out Paleo Pizza on the top right, and Dino Guy on the top left. And yeah, you guys have an awesome day.
Peace.
Have a good one.